In our modern world, cameras watch us everywhere, on streets, in shops, at building entrances. We accept this surveillance as normal, trusting it to provide answers when things go wrong. But what if the cameras only deepen the mystery? This is the story of Brian Shaffer. On March 31st, 2006, Brian, a young medical student, walked into the Ugly Tuna Saloon in Columbus, Ohio. Security cameras captured him entering the bar. They never captured him leaving. The bar had only one public entrance and exit, both under constant surveillance. Investigators reviewed the footage. Brian walks in but never walks out. No camera malfunction, no blind spots, just a man vanishing into thin air. The case defies logic, turning a missing person into an unsolvable riddle. The technology meant to provide clarity only magnified the enigma. Brian's disappearance isn't just about where he went, but how he could have left at all. Nearly 2 decades later, the question remains, how does someone simply disappear? To understand the mystery, we must know Brian. At 27, he was a promising Ohio State medical student planning a future with his girlfriend Alexis. On the night he vanished, Brian had dinner with his father, then joined friends for a night out. It was the start of spring break, a time to celebrate after exams. Brian, his friend Clint and Meredith Reed ended their night at the Ugly Tuna Saloon. Inside, the bar was crowded. At some point, Brian became separated from his friends. They called his phone but got no answer. Assuming he'd gone home, they left. The next morning, Brian missed his flight to Miami with Alexis. He didn't answer calls. Panic set in. This was out of character for Brian. The responsible student, the loving boyfriend, the devoted son. The celebration turned to dread, and a promising life was suddenly on hold. No one knew it yet, but Brian had vanished without a trace. The questions were just beginning. The investigation zeroed in on the Ugly Tuna Saloon. Police reviewed security footage, expecting to see Brian leave. The bar's only public exit was monitored by a camera at the top of the escalator. The footage showed Brian entering at 1:15 a.m., his last confirmed sighting. Investigators watched every person leave until closing. Brian was never seen. They checked for blind spots and malfunctions. None were found. There was a service exit, but it led to a hazardous construction zone and wasn't used by patrons. No evidence suggested Brian left that way. The camera became a silent witness to an impossible event. No one saw Brian leave, not alone, not with anyone, not disguised. The footage turned a missing person case into a locked room mystery. The question, how did Brian leave a place he was never seen exiting? In the aftermath, Brian's family and friends launched a relentless search. His father, Randy, plastered the city with flyers and worked with the media. Alexis called Brian's phone every night, hoping for a miracle. Police scoured the bar, nearby construction, and interviewed every patron. No evidence, no credible witnesses, no answers. The search expanded nationwide, but every lead went cold. In 2008, tragedy struck again. Randy died in an accident, never knowing his son's fate. The family's hope endured, but the silence remained unbroken. With no evidence, theories abound. Some believe Brian left through the service exit and met with an accident or foul play, but searches found nothing. Others suggest he vanished intentionally, escaping pressure and grief, though loved ones insist this was unlike him. More sinister ideas involve foul play inside the bar or a cover-up, but there's no proof. Every theory hits the same wall. The security footage. The camera saw everyone leave, except Brian. His case is a real-life locked-room mystery, defying logic and explanation. Nearly 20 years later, Brian Shaffer is still missing. He remains a haunting question mark, a man who walked in and never walked out. The mystery endures unsolved.